Hey everyone, today's video is actually going to be a bit of a different one. In this video, I'm going to be showing you ways of controlling the spectator's card from the bottom of the deck to the top of the deck. Now, in case you're looking for some card controls, I will link those down below, and I will also link the card control I taught in my last video, which went over how to control it to the bottom down below as well. And in case you're wondering about the deck I'm using, these are the emoji playing cards. Now, I think I actually have a review on these, so I will link that down below. So without further ado, let's get straight into this. So let's say, starting off, that you have the card on the bottom of the deck, the selection. So let's say you have the 5 of diamonds on the bottom. And one more thing, actually, before I start, is I'm not going to be going over in depth for these moves I'm going to be showing you, because I already have in-depth tutorials on them already. So I will leave those down below, but I will show you what they look like, obviously, and how to do it, but it won't be in depth. So without further ado, let's get straight into this. So here's the first way you can do this, and there's actually a few ways you can do it from this move. So you'll see what I mean. So let's say the 5 is the card on the bottom. The first thing you're going to want to start off with is getting a break above the 5. So the first thing is I'm going to hold the deck in a mechanic's grip. So my thumb is on the side, index on top, middle ring pinky on the other side. My pinky's going to come over and it's just going to pull down that top card and actually go in there. So the first knuckle of my pinky is going to be contacting this card right here. And then my pinky can go in, or it can touch the other cards like this. So I will leave the pinky count if you want to learn how to do that. But one more thing you could do is you could spread the cards and show they're all face down. And when you get to the bottom of the deck, you could put your middle ring and pinky on the second to bottom card. So this one. You can lift up, push your pink, and actually put your pinky in there while squaring up. And now you have a break. So you're going to come over and do thumb break. And I do this by having my thumb in the back to hold the break. So I'm like this position, I'm going to come right over and put my thumb here. Now, before you put your thumb here and leave it there, you could use your thumb to push down some of the cards and then just leave it there if you want the break bigger, but you don't need it bigger. And now what you're going to do is you're going to come over and you're going to swing cut about half of the deck like this. Okay, so I will leave a video for the swing cut down below. So you're going to come over and you're going to line up both of these halves, and you can put your pinky in there and then drop the break. And now you know, once you lift up from these cards, their selection is right here. I think that shows in camera now. So what you can do is you're actually going to cut this half above the break as much as you want. So you could cut it one time, you could cut it a second time, you could cut it a third time, and then you could cut from the break. It doesn't matter. But now the card is on top. So once you put those down, you are all set, just like that. So here's what it might look like in real time. So let's say the card is on the bottom, and I explained I'm going to be cutting the deck some. So just like this. and now the card's on top. One more thing I actually want to go over is if you do the pinky count, you don't want to do it in full view because you don't want them to see it. So something I might do is bring my hand in towards myself and actually down a little like this, or actually up. Okay, you just want to be careful with this because you don't want them to see that your pinky is actually doing anything. But you could use the first knuckle of your pinky to count it, and then just leave your pinky there, okay? So it is really subtle, but you could do it like that. Just make sure you watch your angles of how you get your pinky break. But that's the first thing you can do. Let's go over the second thing you can do. So let's say they go ahead and they have a card. Let's say the nine of clubs. We'll give these a little mix up, and it's on the bottom. So you're going to be repeating pretty much all the steps from the first way to do this, and you're going to want to end with the pinky break like this. So here's what I mean. They have the nine of clubs, and it's on the bottom. You're going to catch a break. You're going to get into a thumb break, and now you're going to swing cut about half, or you could do a little less than half this time. It really doesn't matter. Gonna line up these and have a break, okay? So you could hold it like this, or you could just hold it like this, okay? It doesn't matter, but you are gonna need it like this. So what you're going to want to do, because you know the card is right here, okay, so I'll bring that out a little, right there. What you're going to want to do is cut all these cards above the break. So a few things is watch your angles, because you don't want them to see this, and you don't want them to see this either. So I'm going to swing cut about half the cards above the break. And then because you have a big break here already, you should be able, with some practice, to just lift up on it and then swing cut it as well, and then put the rest on top. So it's sort of like actually using a crimp card. And I might actually make a video in the future going over a crimp card, how to make a crimp card, tricks with crimp cards, and how to do some controls with crimp cards. So a whole series on those, on crimp cards. But now the card is on top. So one more time, you're going to have the card on the bottom. You're going to catch a pinky break. You're going to come over and do thumb break. You can swing cut and line up the break like this. And now you can swing cut, and if you have one card left, you could do one of two things actually. But let me swing cut that and then throw the deck on top. So now the 9 is right there. So that's what it might look like in real time. So before I actually teach you the way with the card on top, in case that happens, here is another way. So let's say the deck is shuffled and they have the Queen of Hearts. So it's on the bottom, and you repeat the same steps. Well, now this time you're going to add in some different types of cuts. To the spectator, it's going to look different, but you know it's going to accomplish the same thing. So you're going to swing cut a packet of cards, and then something you could do is you could break off another half with your pinky, and then use your index finger to contact this left corner, or the farthest corner that doesn't have the thumb break, and you're just going to pivot this across your index finger. And I like to open my other fingers like this, and I'm going to hold it with my pinky. I can pivot it like that and put it on top, and then you could swing cut again and throw it on top. It doesn't matter, but now the queen is there. So let's say we have the pinky count, you could even use your thumb to riffle off. It doesn't matter. But we're gonna swing cut, put this on top, and now you could swing cut like this, or what you could do, which I'll teach you later actually. So you're gonna break off this half, you're gonna swivel it like that, swing cut this half, and then throw the rest on top to have the card right there. So that's another way you could go about this. Let's say we have the four of clubs, but let's say this time you don't swing cut the deck. So that's one card there. So what you could do is you could swing cut half with your so you could do a regular swing cut like this, but now your thumb's gonna come over and it's gonna pivot across your middle finger, and I think it is a little easier to do. Put these on top, and now the 4 is on top. So in real time, it might look like this. So bam, 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 and now it's on top. So the next way you could do it is just like this. So let's say you have the king of clubs, and you're gonna do the same thing, but this time let's say you have that one card left on top, okay? So I'm gonna swing cut, and let's say I'm gonna swing cut again, because I notice it usually happens when you do the swing cut. So let's say you just keep swing cutting the deck, and you notice when you stop that you put one card on top of it. What can you do? Well, there's two things you could do. The first thing you could do is you could ask, is this your card? No. And then you don't have to do this, but for consistency, I like to say, is this your card? No. You put that in the middle, and now it's on top. So you don't have to freak out if you get one card on top of it, or really any amount of cards. Just make sure you know the number of cards you have on top so you can ditch those. So let's say the king is on the bottom, we catch our break, we swing cut, we line up the break, and then we go bam, bam, and then let's say we do this, and then we can swing cut one more time, and that card is on top, so we throw it down. So we can ask, is this your card? No. Is this your card? No. And now it's on top. So that's one way you could do it. Another way I suppose you could go about that is actually this way. So let's say you have the ace of hearts, and you want to control it. So control it any way you would like. So you could even do some table cuts, okay? Just leave one card on top, and then you could do a double lift. Is the card here? No. And then actually they would say the card is here. And all I did here actually was a double lift. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to do a double, which I will leave a link for. And then you can put this card in the middle. And now it's on top. So something for the swing cuts, but to leave the one card on top. What you could do is you could drop the break as long as if you have this other half out like this a little. Just like this. Because now you know this card right here is theirs. What was the card? Ace of Hearts. Okay, so right here. So what you could do is you could spread, and then you could catch a break above the top two cards. Because here's the block. Here's the top two. Catch a break above it. You could cut these, And now the card is second from the top, so you could do a double lift, which I will leave a link for. You can put this in the middle, and now it's back on top. So hopefully that way made sense, but here's all it really is. You have a break, you swing cut, you drop that break, so now you have a pinky break, and now you can swing cut, you can swivel cut, and sometimes when I cut one more time, doesn't even dawn on me that I have one card on top. So now you can go ahead and show the ace, put it in the middle, and now you can either show it's back on top, or you could do another double. Now, this isn't a control I would actually do. This is just a way to actually control their card to the top in case you do leave one card on top of it. But I wouldn't use this for an actual control. So hopefully that made sense. And the last thing I'm gonna go over, if I think of any more, I will make a part 2. Okay, so I might just label this part 1. Okay, so if I think of any more ways, I will make another video on a few more ways to do this, but this is actually going to be the overhand shuffle. So this is probably the most common way to do this. Let's say you have the Queen of Spades on the bottom. I have a in-depth tutorial already on the overhand, so I won't go over it in depth, but you're going to have your middle ring pinky on the one side, thumb on the other side, and index right here. You're going to take off a group of cards, doesn't matter how many. You're going to start by taking off a bunch of cards. And when you get to the bottom, you're going to want to start going one by one, just for their card. And you will notice now that last card I put down will be their card. If you need a more in-depth tutorial, I will leave it down below. But let's say you have the queen here, we take off a chunk, and we continue shuffling chunks. And then when we get near the bottom, we go one by one. And now the card is on top. So that was the video for today. I hope you really enjoyed this, and I hope this actually made sense. So these were just some ways of controlling the card from the bottom of the deck to the top of the deck. Now, I can't think of any more ways to go about this, so I'm going to end the video here. But if I do think of any more ways, I will make a part 2 to this video. And plus, I don't want this video to be 1 hour long, 2 hours long. So that's why I'm going to cut it right here. So I hope you really enjoyed this. Check the description down below for everything I mentioned today. If you are new here, or if you just didn't have a chance yet to enter the 300 subscriber shout out, make sure you do while you still have a chance. At the time of this recording, I'm either 291 or 292. So, in subscribers. So we're almost at 300. So I think that video is going to be coming very shortly. So I will leave that down below in case you didn't enter yet. If you're new here, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And I think the next video actually is going to be the dribble. How to do the dribble. So just like this. And then I might teach you a few other dribbles as well. It all depends on the time. So that's going to be it from me. If you're new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time with the dribble. Bye.